If Bruce Wayne's company went bankrupt, Batman would lose his superpowers. Finding bad reviews on a parachute is quite rare. It is likely that many thoughts here actually were made on the toilet and not in the shower, especially the shitty ones. There is a person somewhere who spent at least 4 years in college to earn a fancy engineering degree, learning everything there is to know about materials design, advanced mathematics, manufacturing, and complex CAD software. And then they created the opening tab for macaroni and cheese boxes. Imagine you are playing hide and seek. You are the seeker, and you find a spot with nobody in it and think, wow, that's a really good spot to hide. Since you found it, that isn't a good place to hide after all. We don't need laws, we won't have criminals if there were no laws. In the microwave, 2 30-second intervals warms your food completely different than a 1-minute interval. Everyone thinks they're smart, because they're not smart enough to realize how dumb they are. If light bulbs start lasting even longer, future generations might not know how to change one. Accidentally biting your tongue when chewing food is a perfect example of how it's still possible to screw up a task that you've already mastered. The invention of the internet is the ultimate proof that stupidity doesn't come from a lack of knowledge. A normal thing is to go from completely incoherent and unconscious to, 20 minutes later, driving a 1,000-pound piece of machinery at 60 to 75 miles per hour along with hundreds of others in the same condition. Maybe sometime in the past all the mythology and fantasy creatures / people like dragons, elves, genies, goblins, etc. don't exist anymore because someone wished it to all disappear with a genie. When you turn 18 your 6,576-day free life trial expires. Being scared of deep water is being scared of heights but in the water. Saying you were born on the last day of February does not reveal your birthday. The Queen in Snow White is a powerful witch who can brew a potion to disguise herself as an old woman, but not to make herself more beautiful. If no customers complain about a bulletproof vest, it's either very good or very bad. Dating a singer must really suck. Because you know if you ever break up you'd have a sad song written about you. There is one day in your life where you were or will be the happiest you ever will be, and you won't know which day it was until the day you die. Insurance companies would save us so much more money if they didn't spend our money constantly replaying annoying commercials telling us how much money we'll save. You were born too late in history to be able to buy cocaine or meth over the counter at a drugstore, but too early to be able to fly your own personal spacecraft around in low Earth orbit. Even if magic was real, humans would probably classify it and teach it in such a way that would make it extremely boring. Drug tests are the only tests where having less knowledge of the subject makes you more likely to pass. Everyone always dismisses how cool it is that we all have the ability to unfocus our eyes. There comes a moment when it stops being spooky late night and becomes peaceful early morning. The day when your kid becomes smart enough to actually argue instead of just saying but and fake crying must be a good and bad day as a parent. Deaf people who are missing a finger have a speech impediment. Humans are the only species that is knowingly and actively destroying itself despite knowing the consequences of not changing its ways. No one ever asks adults about their favorite dinosaur.